Hey, we have this concept, right? A new year, new you. And we have values and goals that we set to become a new you. But what's one thing that can hold us back? That is sometimes really hard to change. That would be generational trauma. And generational trauma is really learned behavior that has happened over generations, right? So something has happened, let's say with your great grandparent, and as you can see, the guy there is holding on to a ball. So some trauma has happened to this person, and whether in childhood or adulthood. And this person decides to have children. And because of their trauma, they parent maybe a little bit differently. Maybe they yell a little bit more. Maybe they were sexually abused as a child, so they have sort of more precautious lens on, and we have anxiety about our kids going places and being alone with people, so then that puts anxiety onto our children. Maybe your great grandparent was just born and raised in a family that was dysfunctional, and they learned some dysfunctional behaviorisms. So they take their ball and they pass it on to your grandparent, to their child. And then with that, maybe some more trauma happens to your grandparent, or maybe because of the learned trauma behaviors from that they learned, they've kind of picked up some more behaviorisms that aren't okay. And they take that and they pass that on to your parent. So now your parent's juggling these two balls that they didn't really want in the first place, right? And they're going to have another ball because now it's going to be their own stuff that they're not breaking, or maybe their own trauma that's happened to them, or maybe they decided to do drugs and alcohol to deal with their dysfunctional family and the trauma passed to them. And so therefore they now have even worse choices, right, when it comes to a parent. So then you take those three balls now, and now you pass it on to yourself. And here you are as a parent and a person, and you may have high anxiety, high depression, some PTSD, all the stuff that was passed down to us. And these behaviorisms that occurred in our home where we were just trying to survive. And if you decide to have a child, you are then going to pass that on to the child. And as you can see in my drawing, the child is just on the ground playing with these balls, right? And there's nothing they can do about it. They're a kid. They're going to just try to survive in the environment that they were given to the best of their ability. How do you break that then, right? Like, how do we stop that? So as you can tell with the me character that I drew, they've got a little stop sign, pretty oversimplified, right? And a little line that's between them and the parent. And this line, however, does have little breaks in it because it's really hard to change. It's really hard to change. And we try to stop these behaviorisms that we've learned that aren't the best parenting choices, like yelling at our kids, or parenting out of fear, or not knowing how to have healthy boundaries with our children, or giving them our anxiety or our depression. And so you've still got some things that can go through. The point is that you're stopping as much of that as you can, and you're trying to learn new behaviors to be a better you in the new year or the new month or the new day. And in return, when you have a child, or if you have a child right now, you'll see that that line between you and them, there's only one break. So they're getting a better parent because you're choosing to be a better parent. And in the end, they're going to be a better parent. So when it comes to New Year's resolutions and you're kind of scratching your head of, like, why am I not changing? Why is this so difficult? We need to really look at the parenting styles of our parents. And what behaviorisms did we learn from them? What did we get from them? Was it positive? Was it negative? Maybe in between? What can we do to recognize that? And then what can we do to change that? Because you can't really change yourself or your future or your present if we're not looking back a little bit and trying to disassociate ourselves with some of those behaviors that weren't the best when we were growing up. I hope you guys have a happy new year and have a happy day, really, a great day. And that you are able to start recognizing some of the trauma that you need to let go that was never yours to begin with.